You're listening to The Breakfast Show with Belle and Liam. They're on your radio, and that's why you can't see them. So stay for a while, they're gonna make you smile. And whatever you do, don't touch that dial. You're feeling fine, waking up to the sunshine with Belle and Liam.
G'day there, podcaster.
Yeah, it's the Recap All Around Australia pod. One of our favourites. Hope you enjoy it. Ben, we have lots of ideas. Some of these ideas get up in the show. Other times they're poo-pooed. And that's fair.
Yeah, so when you work in like a team environment in the radio, I might have an idea or Liam might have an idea and we'll say, hey, why don't we do this? And then normally the producers or the boss will say, no, that's a horrible idea.
Yeah, and look, over the last couple of years, we've been collecting up all the ideas that we really liked.
Yep.
But for whatever reason, the boss just said no to. And it's in something called the Forbidden Folder.
And the Forbidden Folder is inside the vault in the studio, Liam. Turn your key. I'll turn mine. And get out the Forbidden Folder.
Yeah, this is some hot stuff. I think, like third year at Nova now, just taking some liberties and just being like, why not? Why don't we do it?
Yep.
And if it's fun enough and doesn't get us in enough trouble, then
Exactly.
the boss might go, actually, Ben and Liam, that was a really good idea.
So we're going to go to the top of the folder and just work our way down through one a week.
There's so many good ones, but
Yeah.
I really like this one. I find this one interesting. What was prison like?
What was prison like?
If you've been to prison, 13-24-10, give us a buzz. We'd love to know what it was like in there.
Because, you watch those TV shows like America's Hardest Prison.
Jailbreak.
Yeah.
And is it that bad here? Is it worse?
Let's find out. Darren joins us now.
How you going?
Very good, thank you. Now, how much time did you serve?
About 2 months.
Was it scary?
Yes and no. There was definitely scary people in there.
Is it more lax than we would think? Like, do you get to watch TV and stuff in there?
Oh, absolutely. You got your PlayStation, TV, anything that you can afford to get in there can come in.
So
you hang on.
You play PlayStation all day?
What do you mean when you say you can afford? Like, you would pay the prison money and they'd let you have a PlayStation?
No. You need money in an account, and then you can buy just about anything that you want to and have it in there.
Really? So in your cell, you can have a TV and a PlayStation. You can just play to your heart's content.
That's right, yep.
And they don't ban it. You get to play like Grand Theft Auto. They don't. I thought they'd at least go, no, it's just Crash Bandicoot for you guys, all right, until you get out.
Darren, thank you so much for answering our questions.
Jeez.
We've got a lot of calls for this. Let's move on now to Anonymous joining us.
Yeah, mate, how are you?
Very good.
If you feel comfortable, where did you serve and for how long?
A year and a half ago for a year.
Yeah, right, okay.
Did you have lots of, freedom? Like, could you have a PlayStation in your cell if you wanted to? Did you have one?
We had a lot of freedom, man. We got McDonald's, the whole lot brought into
How
us.
are you getting Maccas?
Yeah, 100%.
Prison doesn't sound that
But
bad at the moment.
how do you, Anonymous, how do you get McDonald's? Do you Uber Eats it? Like, who brings it to your cell?
Use your imagination then, you know what I mean? Bit of this, bit of that, you know?
Yeah.
The prison wallet.
You know what's crazy? There's that movie, The Longest Yard, and there's Cheeseburger Eddie, and he's always got Maccas.
Yeah.
I imagine that there's actually a Cheeseburger Eddie.
Roger, how long did you serve?
I did 4 years in a maximum prison.
Did you get into any fights? Was it, really rough?
No, to tell you the truth, have you ever seen the little statues of those monkeys, hear no evil, speak no evil?
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's what you got to do. You just do that and you'll get along in jail quite fine.
All right, so you just keep your head down. That's
See,
it.
Roger, if I have...
Yeah, keep your head down, keep your nose out of people's stuff, and don't even see what they're doing. You look away, look at something else. Look at a bird flying in the sky.
I get the feeling that, if I went to prison or if Lehman went to prison, you'd be the kind of guy that would go, that person's clearly vulnerable.
Yeah, would you be
put
like...
my arm around him and tell him what I just told him?
Are you that guy? Because you...
No, not really, because I wouldn't even bother who comes in, because I'm there to do my time, and then I'm out of there.
Oh, damn. I thought we were the Andy Dufresne to your Morgan Freeman.
Roger, now that you're out of prison, is it hard to get a job, or are you coping around?
Look, it is and it isn't. It's basically what you're after, what kind of work you're into. Everyone does their mistakes. Yeah, okay, you go into a bad place, but hey, not everyone's bad. We all make mistakes. We all change.
That's it.
People say you don't change. Well, I tell you what, go to jail. That changed me.
Good on you, Roger.
Good on you, Roger.
One more question, because, you've been so great. Is the prison wallet a thing?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is.
And I've got a question for you, Ben. Can you put your dog's poo in someone else's bin?
I think I've got a dog. If I was walking through the suburbs and I had his dog poo in a bag, and I saw someone's bin, I would definitely put it in there.
Yeah, it's fair game, right?
But if I saw someone putting their dog poo in my bin, I'd be a bit annoyed about that.
You wouldn't say anything, though, would you?
I don't think I'd say anything. No.
I got a stern talking to from
What
this
did they
woman.
say?
Well, it was a long drive, like over the weekend, and I took the dog out of the car for a wee break, which I do sometimes.
Yeah.
And got a little more than a bargain for.
Yeah.
I had a bag though, all good. So I bagged it up and just sort of like went to the nearest bin, dropped it in.
Which happened to be someone's
Well, there was a woman.
wheelie bin.
Yeah, there was a woman guarding in the front. I didn't even notice her.
Oh,
So I just-
you got to do a check.
Well, I was just
You're
looking.
gonna do
I was
it.
just beelining for the bin. I had a turd in my hands. I had other things in my mind. And she was like, "Are you all right there?"
Oh, come
and then
on.
I turned around and I was like, "Oh, like sorry." And she's like, "You're disgusting, mate." and then I just ran away. Then I was thinking about it. I'm like, would you prefer the poo on your lawn or?
But you didn't go to like on a property, did you? The bin was on the curb.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I didn't
that's
like
fine.
walk up her driveway and fling it in. I wouldn't do that. But
Yeah.
if it's bin day and there's like a bin out, that's fair. Like, what else am I supposed to do?
Yeah, no, look, I think I'm on your side with that. It's an interesting question that I want to put to the Adelaide audience this morning. 13 24 10, that is the number. Can you put your dog poo in someone else's bin?
Yeah. Are you allowed to do it? Would you give someone a mouthful for doing it to you?
Elise, what do you reckon?
Oh, absolutely put it in someone's bin.
Yeah, why not? I mean, what's the alternative, right?
Well,
You're just going to walk around with
Yeah,
it in
it's
your
going
hand.
to smell in your car, and I've had a dog poo in my car, and it wasn't nice.
Is that a
no.
story for another time, or can you tell it?
No, it was another time. He drank a lot of seawater, so it
Yeah,
wasn't
right.
nice.
He drank a lot of
So-
seawater and then he pooed.
It's so funny though when you think, like, oh yeah, it's such a nice idea, like taking your dog to the beach, but it's never
Never
really.
nice.
They get a bit wet and then they just smell like
Yeah.
seafood.
Thanks for that, Elise. Vicky joins us now. Can you put your dog's poo in someone else's bin?
Hell no. And I've opened my bin once and it was rank. Somebody else's dog.
Yeah.
It was rank.
Yeah, but Vicky, it's rank anyway, right? It's a bin. Like, surely your bins don't smell that good.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a tough one. That's what we're asking this morning. 13
And what if
24 10.
What if the alternative is, Vicky, for you to walk out to the curb and you step on that poo before you get to your bin? You know?
Oh, I've done that before, no, but you still don't stick it in the bin. No way.
All
Next
right.
time I'll fling it over your fence.
13 24 10. Give us a buzz right now.
Kylie, what do you think? Can you put your dog poo in someone else's bin?
Absolutely, guys. So I've just recently got a new addition to our household, and I've got 2 dogs.
Okay.
And there is no way I'm taking it in my car when I'm walking around the streets. If there is a bin on the curb, even if it's empty, my theory is the bin's been emptied, it's still on the curb, it's fair game. Those
fair
owners
game.
have not bought that bin in. Fair game.
What if the bin was like, pretty close to the curb, but it was clearly like they'd brought it in, but you could see it? Would you walk down the driveway? with a bin?
Look, guys, I would.
There you go. Michael, can you put your dog poo in someone else's bin?
No. I actually just recently moved, and the day after bin day, she would always put it in my bin. It seemed to be always in summertime, so unclosed as well, just totally open. And it was like this feud that always used to happen between us. I would just,
you saw the woman doing it.
yeah, I knew, and then I picked her house, and then I'd just leave the bin out and just sort of set it up to see if it would constantly happen. And it did.
So, right, you had little GoPros set up in the bottom of your bin.
You
going
had a
on.
poo trap.
You wait until the council sees this. Rick, can you do it? Can you put your dog poo in someone else's bin?
Ben and Liam, absolutely, mate. As soon as you put the bin on the verge, you relinquish ownership of it, your dog poo goes.
Fair game.
You can put dog
says
poo
Rick.
in there. You can put bodies in
You
there.
put your own
Whatever
poo
you want.
in there, whatever. you got an old TV that you need to get rid of if someone else's bin is out.
Go for it. Free for all.
Free for all.
Free for all.
Ben, if you've got a dicky heart, you can get a pacemaker. If it's really bad, you need a transplant. For that, you need another human heart. We all know what happens there. And if you can't get one, if there's not one available, you might just pass away.
Yep.
That's not the case anymore.
Well, yeah. Thanks to this one guy.
Well, there's one. I mean, there's only been one operation like this ever done successfully. A man who is alive now has a genetically modified, fully functioning pig heart in his body. This happened over in America, and we're actually joined now by this man's son, David Bennett Jr. David, this is incredible, man. First of all, how's your dad going?
He's doing amazing. He was sitting up at the edge of the bed today, and I appreciate you sharing this story.
I mean, they're saying it's a miracle. What odds did the surgeon give your old man before the procedure?
We're in the unknown at this point. The surgeon was more optimistic with a pig's heart, which has never been done.
Does he feel any different with the pig's heart? Like, I know that's a strange question, but does he say that it feels different inside of him?
He hasn't commented that. He's got a lot of stuff going on right now.
I can imagine. I mean, he's just got a pig's heart put in. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pig's heart beating well, and actually the words of the surgeon is the pig's heart is a rock star.
Wow.
I bet the pig feels like that too. How long was he in the operating theatre for?
Yeah.
I think it was 7 to 9 hours, but it was around 11 total. They had a slight complication with his aorta, but it went very well.
Run us through how you and the rest of your family are feeling, because your dad's gone in there. He's in theatre for 11 hours. He's getting a literal pig heart transplant. This has never been done successfully before. I mean, surely it must have been like one of the worst days of your life, right?
We're on edge. I'm his medical proxy, just to, cap that off. Nervous for the advanced directive and decisions I might need to make.
How long is he going to be in hospital for? Do you know? Like, is it that indefinite or?
I sure hope not. That's the reason I got a pig heart, is so he could go home.
That's true. It'd be a bit ridiculous if he went through all of this if he had to stay in the hospital.
I mean, he's all about helping people, but let's be honest, he's got some self-interest as well.
Well,
so.
Absolutely. And obviously the use of, pig organs are going to help alleviate shortages of donor organs in the future. A lot of lives are going to be saved. It's some needed good news, I think, to start off 2022.
One of the big questions, David, is Dad cracking jokes yet about the pig heart?
He's not talking about the oinking and the cracking jokes, but I imagine we're probably within weeks of that.
I was going to say, give him like 14 days and the oinks will start here and there. We wish your dad a speedy recovery, and our thoughts are with you because those jokes are going to be coming in thick and fast. But that is truly incredible. The first man alive to have a pig heart transplant.
Thanks, David.
Thank you so much.
Ben, it's come to my attention lately that I may be doing something wrong in the bathroom. Personal question for you. When you're wiping, do you sit or stand?
Well, I sit. Like a normal person.
Okay. Because I stand.
That is so weird.
You just get more leverage that way, I find.
What do you mean you get more leverage?
I don't know. I've just always done it that way. I just don't know.
How can I put this delicately, Liam? When you stand up, the shop closes.
What if I'm keeping the shop open whilst I'm standing up?
How are you keeping the shop open?
Let's not get into it.
Because you can't close.
Yeah, but what I would say is that when you're sitting down, the shop is open, but there's very narrow roads leading to the shop, and there's a lot of traffic along the way, and you wouldn't want to have a prang on your way out, would you?
Liam, I totally agree with you.
Would you get what I mean?
I totally agree.
So that's what I've always thought.
Here's the thing, though. Once you know the roads to take, it's much more effective.
But what if you're wearing like long clothing or something like that? You know,
What
like
do you mean?
I don't
What's that
know.
got to do with it?
I don't know.
You seem a bit unsure.
Yeah, because I feel a bit weird. It's just one of these
That's
things.
a weird method.
It feels like quite personal, but I wouldn't mind doing a bit of a snap poll just to find out if I'm completely alone here. I didn't even think it was that weird until I saw a meme saying it was the worst thing ever. Like people who do that, are freaks, and I was like, oh my god, that's me. Like I do that.
Why don't we find out? Do you stand or do you sit? 13 24 10. Give us a buzz. Brittany, what do you do?
Definitely sit. Never crossed my mind to stand.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, you should try it sometime. Tony, sit or stand?
I've actually been converted, mate. When I was growing up, I was standing, and then I got a wife or partner, and I didn't want her walking in on me while I was standing, so I was just converted to sitting.
And is it better?
I think it's better to stand.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get more. There's more access. There's more access.
Just for the sake of the poll, mate, are you voting for sit or are you voting for stand?
Go for stand, man.
I'm voting stand.
Good.
Even though you're
Thanks,
sitting.
Tony. No, we need the numbers. We need everything we can get.
Belinda, sit or stand?
Hi, Ben and Liam. I half and half.
What do you mean? A deep squat?
Well, it's more like a stand, I would say.
So there's more. Would you say there's more pressure in your feet or on your thighs?
On my feet.
Okay,
that's a stand.
It's technically a stand.
Scott, sit or stand?
What a bunch of weirdos. You've got to sit down.
Yeah, you got to sit.
Yeah, I mean, well, David, we don't need it. It's
Doesn't
done.
even matter.
It's done. It's done now. Why do we do this? We get a microphone. We both try each other's method, and tomorrow we play the results.
I don't
know if that'll float.
Will let us do that.
Hailing from the UK, our next guest boasts over 21 million streams monthly and has remixed for artists such as Katy Perry, Sam Smith, and Ed Sheeran. Now he's coming down under to play Nova's Red Room next month. Please welcome Joel Corry.
Joel Corry, mate, how you doing?
Hi. How you doing, man? That was a great intro. Thank you so much.
Very exciting to have you on the show because we play your music so much here on Nova, but we haven't had the chance to talk to you very first time.
Whereabouts are you in the world at the moment?
All right, so right now I'm in LA. I had a big show last night, which was off the scale, man. So, out here in America right now on a little bit of a mini tour and just loving life. But I can't wait to get to Oz. I'm going to be bringing my bangers and we're going to make it a party. I'm really looking forward to it.
So, Joel, what do you do normally like post-gig? When you finish up a gig, what do? Do you hit the town? Do you go home, go to sleep? Do you go out for a feed? What's your post-gig routine?
Well, listen, man, if there's an after party, if there's a pair of decks there, I'm going to get on the decks, mate. But if there's no after party, it's got to be a Mackie D's in it after the gig and maybe a bit of Netflix.
You know where you stand with a Mackie D's.
Yeah.
It's the same everywhere. Do you find
Exactly.
this, even like when I'm at house parties and stuff, I have a few mates that are like they bought decks off of eBay and they get up and try and mix it up a little bit. Is it a little bit unfair if your friends have DJ decks and then you go step out of the way? I'm Joel Corry and just absolutely get the party rocking.
Oh man. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, man. Some of my friends, they do some dodgy mixing, I have to say, but that's all part of the fun, isn't it? Do a bit of a back-to-back, and but usually hear a few clangers.
Well, Joel Corry, it's going to be huge. You're playing Nova's Red Room, March 10. What can we expect from your show when you're here?
Oh, listen, man. As I said, I'm going to be bringing all the bangers. We're going to make it such a party, such high energy. And yeah, man, it's time we literally party together. As I said, it's been 2 years since I've been in Australia, so I'm looking forward to the Red Rooms. It's going to be a great event, and bring it on.
We cannot wait. March 10th is when it's happening. Joel Corry, thank you so much for joining us.
Cheers, guys. I'll catch you soon.
We love doing story toppers. The way it works is very simple. Either Liam and I will go first with the story, then it's your turn to try and top it.
The topic is craziest thing you've seen on a plane.
Now, Liam, I don't think I've seen anything crazy on a plane, so I'm assuming you've seen something pretty crazy.
Not even me. This is just my mate over the weekend. 13-24-10 if you've seen something crazy on a plane. But he was on a flight on the way home, and a guy near the front had a full seizure.
Really?
Like, foaming from the mouth, like pretty scary. And they had to do the old, is anyone a doctor on this flight?
Was the person okay?
Yeah, by the time they hit the tarmac, there was ambulances there and there was like emergency vehicles and they had to get this guy out quick smart. He was all fine, all okay.
Imagine if they stuck to procedure and the people in front of them got to get off first.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. You just got to
We have rules.
Got to wait it out. There's rules for a reason. And how's that?
That is pretty crazy.
I love her. Is there a doctor in the room?
Yeah.
Sort of. Any of those stories are always great. What is the craziest thing you've seen on a plane? 13-24-10. If you can story top, get in touch. Sarah, what happened?
Hey, Ben and Liam, you think that's crazy? We were on a flight. It must have been Kuala Lumpur or somewhere like that. The lady next to us at the start of the flight before takeoff zipped herself up in a head-to-toe body bag for the entire flight.
like a body bag, sort of sleepy bag, so she was just in a cone of
she was like,
silence.
immune from everything.
But it was like plastic, and it was before Corona time, but it must have been some sort of, I don't know.
Like a germ shield.
Something like that.
That's crazy.
She didn't want to be in a tube of farts right now. She's like, no, I'll be in my own ecosystem, please.
In my own tube.
Yeah, my own farts. That is wild. Chris, what happened?
Hey, Ben and Len, you think that's crazy? This one's crazy. We're on a flight back from LA.
Yeah.
We took off. I looked out the window. I was just next to the wing, and there's fuel dumping out the wing, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. So I looked across at the wife, and I'm like telling her, and then sure enough, over the PA, they asked for is there a doctor on board? There happened to be a couple of paramedics and a doctor. Anyway, a lady a few rows back, on the way to Australia for a holiday, she's started to go into labour, and they're diverting the plane to Hawaii.
Yeah.
So, but within about half an hour, we're still flying. She's had the kid. All the planes cheering, carrying on.
Where did you have it? Like in the aisle?
Yeah.
You had fuel pouring out the side of the wing, and then someone gave birth on your flight.
Yeah, was the fuel coming out the wing unrelated?
Well, apparently they said that they needed to get rid of the fuel to land. So, because we're obviously planning on coming straight back to Australia, but they diverted to Hawaii. And then we sat on the tarmac for hours and hours because they wouldn't let us get off.
Chris, that is a very good story,
we're not
mate.
doing that, right?
Well, I don't know. We've got one more caller, so let's find out. Katie, go for it.
Hi, Liam. You think that's crazy?
Yeah.
Somebody died on a plane. So crazy but horrible.
Yeah.
We were flying from Dubai back to Australia. Somebody started getting really sick on the plane. They were calling over the PAs. Any doctors, any nurses, any paramedics. There was no one. So they were situated in the exit seat area. So they eventually ended up being on the floor. They were trying to use the defib. The defib didn't do anything.
Yeah.
There was the airline people. They were running up and down the aisle, screaming, crying, freaking everyone out.
Yeah.
And we ended up landing in Mumbai in India.
Yeah.
They had passed away. They were in a body bag. We were on the tarmac in Mumbai for 10 hours on the plane.
You couldn't get off?
We couldn't get off because we were not supposed to be there. So we had to wait for the police to come and take his body off of the plane. We had to fly back to Dubai.
You're kidding. Flights can be intense at the best of times, even if there's a bit of turbulence.
Yeah.
And also the staff. I mean, they're used to just, handing out meals and giving people waters and that sort of
chocolates.
stuff. And then all of a sudden they're putting a body in a bag.
Wow.
Look, there's really no gags or songs to go into after that. But my God, story toppers never fails.
Never
Hey,
fails,
what a
does it?
story.
How is this story, Liam? The headline is Schoolboy loses both his nipples after classroom dare involving 2 cans of Lynx Africa.
I mean, I know that kid's not going to have nipples for the rest of his life, but he is going to be a legend in the schoolyard, you know what I mean? The guy, they said, hey, we dare you to take your nipples off. And he did it.
The more I read the story, the funnier I found it got. The 15-year-old schoolboy was dared by a friend while on the way to their next lesson. So they're transitioning from like maths
Which
to
is
English.
where a lot of the dares happen in the schoolyard.
Yeah, so he's on the way to the next lesson and accidentally froze his nipples off. Apparently he had 2 cans. Him and his friend both had a can each, and he did 1 can per nipple.
Oh my God, sorry. The images just come up on the screen here.
Oh, you can see it?
That is heinous.
Yeah, so like he's still got the areola, but he's missing the actual. It's smooth. There's no lump. It's totally smooth.
Frosty. It's a frosty, right?
Yeah, it's a
like
frosty,
when you spray your deodorant really close to your body, obviously, don't do that.
Yep.
I say don't condone that because I'm pretty sure in the early days of this show you gave me a frosty.
On air,
There was
yeah.
a few complaints about
There
that.
was, yeah. So don't do frosties. But immediately, this is all from the article, by the way, I'm not making this up. Immediately afterwards, someone flicked his nipples, causing them to pop off.
Imagine how angry your mum would be coming over to school. You know when you get like texture on some of your stuff? He's come over to school. Hey, Max flicked them off before maths. Well, I don't know why I did it.
This is a direct quote, so this is in quotation marks. This is what the kid said. It was fine. It was all fine. Then the boy who was freezing my nipples, he flicked them, and that's when they came off.
Just got his nipples flicked off. What do you do? Do you still go to the next lesson after that?
Yeah, he then said, I went to my next lesson as if nothing had happened. He then said, although I urge people to be cautious, if they decide to copy me, I have no regrets, and I would do it again if I could go back in time.
Rock and roll, man. Yeah, no regrets.
What an
I like
idiot.
how he didn't even go to the sick bay after.
No, he
Just,
didn't.
he got his own nipples flicked off.
It is a wild schoolyard injury, and that's what we want to talk about on 13-24-10.
So, you didn't have glasses growing up, did you?
No.
And I did. weirdly. Like in like junior school, I did, and then I like grew out of them. And
Yeah.
you grew into them. So I'm going. My eyes are going the right way. But yeah, I remember a kid, like an older kid, just absolutely booted a footy into my face, and my glasses shattered on my face. Very, very hard to look cool after that. After your own glasses break on your face.
13 24 10. That is the number. What was your schoolyard injury? Joined by Linda. What was your schoolyard injury?
Hey, it wasn't me. It was actually my son when he was in year 4. He's 19 now. I wasn't supposed to take any Pokemon cards to school, but got busted doing a trade, and while he was running away, broke his ankle.
Whoa. Whoa, because the fuzz were onto him.
So while he was running, just for no real reason, just kind of like landed on it wrong and twisted the ankle and broke it.
Tripped over, broke the ankle, and that was a 6-week punishment for taking the Pokemon cards to school.
Jeez, you'd feel so sorry for him with the teacher as well, that they were so scared of you they sprinted away and broke their ankle.
At least he got the deal done by the sound.
Well,
of
that's it.
Dana joins us now. What was your schoolyard injury?
Hi, my daughter Lexi got bitten by a rat in the playground.
As in, like another kid that you hate and you call a little rat, or like an actual rat?
Well, an actual rat. The school called me, and the office lady told me, and I'm like, what? What was that? They're like, she's okay, but she had a rat, a dying rat, a half-dying rat, on the oval, and it bit her on the finger.
Yeah, surely you're getting some school fees shaved off the later part of that year, hey, if there's a dying rat in the playground.
It's so hard as well with your kid, because they're obviously like pure at heart because they're patting a dying rat.
She's helping the rat.
Don't pat rats.
But you never get near a rat. She obviously learned, she learnt a lesson of life that day.
Yeah. Well, Dana, thank you very much for sharing your story. You are in the draw for Nova's cash car and a star just for getting on air. And look who's come squeaking into the studio. It is the Love Rat. Producer Belle.
We like to go through emails that come through to the Love Rat email, loverat@novafm.com.au. This one would like to remain anonymous. It says, "Hey, Love Rat, hubby and I got married at the end of the last year." Congrats, guys. Bit of a clap. Everyone clapped except for Ben.
Wow.
I run the panel. My hand is on the buttons. If I clap,
not doing
then I'm not
anything.
ready for anything to happen.
We had a big weekend with all our friends and family, and we got some very generous gifts. Thought you'd be interested in this one, though. We got a shocker from my aunt. A Kmart pedestal fan and an ashtray. We don't smoke. It's pretty bad.
It's a horrible gift.
It's pretty bad.
So you can have a smoke and then blow.
Yeah, blow the smoke out of your house.
Even
also, like, did she like wrap the pedestal fan and then have it on like
no, it comes in a box.
Yeah, it'd be in a box.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
You're getting married in like a couple of months, man. Everyone prefers cash. Right?
Everyone wants cash.
It's lighter. It's easier. You've just had a massive expense of the wedding.
Yep.
You probably don't want something that potentially you've got already.
Everybody's going to go out and buy what they want anyway. Like the olden days when couples getting married super young, they'd go and make a register and you get them a kettle.
Yeah, because you
or a
didn't have
toaster.
anything for your house.
Now, just give them cash and let them get what they want to get.
What did you get as a wedding present? I'm sure there's been worse out there than a pedestal fan.
That's pretty bad.
It is pretty bad.
Pretty good.
But, or maybe you got like a lot of the same thing. What did you get as a wedding present? 13 24 10 is the number. Give us a call. Andrea, what did you get?
I got married back in the late 90s where you used to do the Maya gift registry.
Yes.
But we still ended up with 4 toasters, 2 bread makers and 2 of the old-style sandwich makers.
And that is why that way of gift giving is now
So
died.
what, did they just do the registry wrong? Because aren't they supposed to like cross it off? If you like, someone says, I want the toaster, then no one else can buy that?
That's what we thought, but obviously not. Someone who can't read, so yeah.
So, Andrea, what did you do with them all?
I think we returned some of them.
I like the idea of like, that was in the 90s and in like 2009 the toaster stopped working. You're like, well, we've got a brand new one in a box upstairs and we do have enough to get us through the rest of our lives.
Thank you very much, Andrea. You're now in the draw for 50k Fridays just for getting on air.
Rhiannon, what did you get as a wedding present, mate?
G'day, guys. So my brother, who is not an artist, in his mid-30s, decided to draw us a picture of our wedding.
Oh, okay.
So of the wedding, so was he there on the day drawing it, or what he imagined it would be like?
Oh no, it was a pre-drawn picture, but he sort of figured, I've spent money getting a suit and all the rest of it, that a picture would suffice.
He'd have it like all smudged on one side where his arm was like working on the...
Did you keep it? Have you framed it?
No, we haven't framed it, but I did find it the other day when I was looking through some old wedding stuff, and I just laughed. I was like, oh, yep, Still got it. Still there.
I imagine it as like, you see those pictures of people with like a photo of someone and it's like the tattoo they get of them. It's like so warped. Like I imagine that's what it would look like. I rescued someone on my morning walk yesterday, Ben.
From you talking to them?
Okay, let's be serious here. It was actually a very serious situation.
Okay, sorry.
So I was walking down the street and I heard a muffled help. Like something that obviously...
No, you didn't.
No, I swear to God, I actually heard a help.
Like someone's in the boot of a car or something.
Instantly, my heart started beating out of my chest because I was like, did I just hear that? Like, if you hear help, you've got to go and help. And I hear it again, and the scream is getting louder and more panicked. It's like, help! Help me! Help! Help! And as I get closer, I realise the sounds, I swear to God, it's coming from a white van. Like someone is screaming help from inside a white van, and the person's like banging on the doors of the van. Help! Help! Help!
They're on the inside, obviously.
Yeah, they're on the inside. Yeah. And so I'm like, oh my God, like someone's been kidnapped or like what's going on here? So I nervously opened the door, and it was just a delivery man who accidentally locked himself inside his own van. And he was like really claustrophobic, and he was just out of breath, and he kept saying, I couldn't find the emergency cord. I couldn't find the emergency cord.
So there's one in there, but he didn't know where it was.
Yeah, like, if you get locked in a boot, there's like a cord where you can, but he was like in a big delivery van, and he'd like locked himself in the van.
Yeah, right. Is there such a thing as an emergency cord in the boot?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
But do you know what he said to me?
What?
You're my hero.
Yeah,
That's why
you would love that.
I wanted to do this.
Give us a call 13 24 10. Get in touch if you saved someone, just like I did yesterday. I am a hero. I saved a man from getting stressed out in a van. I had to be quick and I had to act fast. I'm a hero larger than life.
I've been recommended for an Order of Australia by the man who was stuck in the van, and look, there's a lot of chat of that sort of accommodation, but I don't think I need that.
You
But,
could have. That was a good song, by the way. You could have also done Enrique Iglesias' Hero.
I was thinking about it actually.
Be your hero. That would have been good as well.
Okay, instead of brainstorming other songs, silly songs I could have done, why not congratulate me on my
I
hero?
thought it was good.
No. I would say congratulate me on my heroic efforts and say, wow, that was like really brave.
Yeah.
That was brave what you did. But if that's you, if you are a hero like me, it takes one to know one. 13 24 10 is the number. Brody, if you were a hero?
So this happened a few years ago. I was in a shopping centre and I was with a group of mates. I was about 16, 17. And there was this bloke what was just starting to run. And I thought it was a bit weird. And then an elder lady started running. And then next minute, this elder lady just shouted out, "He's got my money." And next minute, I've just ran about 50 metres, and my mate's right behind me. So, mate, just, when you get there, just tackle him. Yeah. I ran about 50 metres, right, and next minute I tackled him into the Telstra shop. And Telstra shop, hit him into this sign and everything. And next minute, I've got onto his back. My mate's grabbing the money, and behind me there was a cop off duty, and arrested him, and then went over to the cop shop and had to do a witness report.
All in a day's work for Brody.
Brody, how much money did the guy take from the old lady?
It was about $650.
Okay,
that's a lot of money.
Because old people carry cash. I was going to say, if you beat this guy up in a Telstra and he took $30, maybe not a heroic move.
These are very enjoyable. Erin.
So it was a few years ago now. I was down at the beach and there was a group of people crowding around near the shoreline, and I'm thinking, oh no, there's a kid that's drowned or something. And it turned out it was actually a little Jack Russell that had drowned. And so I have my CPR training, so I've gone, oh, well, I don't really know if it's going to work, but I can try if you want. And they said, yes, please. So I've done this, I've given the dog CPR, and the guy who owned it was actually giving him the rescue breath, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But it turned out that the dog was 16 and it had 2 strokes, and then it still lived. I managed to save it.
You saved the dog?
You gave the Jack Russell that had drowned little chest compressions.
While the owner was breathing into its mouth.
And the dog was 16 years old, yeah. The dog's 16.
Whoa.
You're a hero, Erin. And I can say that confidently because I'm also one.
Okay.
Right now we're doing Radio Google. 13 24 10. Give us a buzz. What don't you get? Do you know what I don't get, Ben? I was watching a bit of the Super Bowl yesterday, and I don't really get why they say world champions. Only 10 minutes away before the Rams are world champions. Not really champions of the world, though, are they?
No.
Because, I mean, I know they're the best at their American football, but they're the only country that sort of plays it.
But that's why they do it.
Yeah, but it's like us saying, we're going to be world champions of the Australian rules footy. Like, it's not...
Oh, I agree. It's
like,
same with-
you're the best at that, but you just want a flag.
They also do it with baseball. The
World Series. It's not.
Yeah.
Like, if it's the World Cup and the whole world is involved, like, it is, or the Olympics, you're a world champion.
Yeah.
Why do they do that?
Because they're arrogant.
Americans.
That is the answer.
It's
because
they're
Americans are arrogant.
Because they're Americans, that is the answer.
And look, Liam, you just did a little radio Google.
Yeah. It's good to just get it out there if there's something that you don't get. I mean, we had some great calls for this last time.
I don't get why I haven't won the lottery yet. I don't get why we can't just print more money.
Yep.
So, like, people have explained inflation to me, but I don't understand, like, why we can't just print more.
I suppose
Everyone can be rich. I don't get it.
Hi, I don't really get how waterfalls work, like how they just keep on going forever. I don't get how they get the seeds for seedless watermelon.
Let's get some more questions right now. 13 24 10. Radio Google, what don't you get, Amelia?
Yes. Okay, this is going to be a good one for you. So my then 6-year-old daughter, who is now 7, said to me, why are things called what they're called? So, why is a tree a tree?
Yeah, and why is a shoe a shoe?
Yeah, and I am, yes, it's got me. I got nothing.
Well, the thing is, that's hard to answer, though, because it depends on, like, a shoe would be called a shoe for a very specific reason. Like someone...
But what is the reason?
I'd have to go through every word in the world
Yeah,
with
like,
you,
I mean,
Amelia.
it's complex, but
Yeah.
I suppose, like, a tree wouldn't have been always called tree. Like, it would have just been called bonk bonk at some point, or, like, it
Well,
sort
no,
of...
I would say...
It would have been like, it would have been like a grunt.
The origins of most words would come from the Latin word, which would be when the person first named it, like the first scripture of it.
That's it. I mean, there's probably a lot of different,
Yeah.
It's kind of like, Amelia, you need to get those keychains, and it's like Amelia means fertile and strong, like, and it sort of has like a definition for your name. I suppose if you go back far enough, there would be a reason.
Granted, though, Amelia, I get that's hard for you to answer for your daughter.
It's hard to Google and also hard for us to answer to you. So I suppose the answer is we don't know.
Scooter, what's your question for Radio Google?
I'm wondering how sailboats, like racing sailboats, can go faster than the wind. Like sometimes they can go more than double the speed of the wind that's pushing them.
Can they, though?
Yeah.
I just thought they did. I thought they just went as fast as the
I
wind.
thought they went as fast as the wind, yeah.
I was watching the, America's Cup and the catamarans that get up on, like, the hydrofoils.
Yeah.
They can do, like, double, sometimes 3 times the speed of the wind.
I suppose you're, like, picking up speed, though, as well, right?
No, but I know what you mean, though, Scooter, because, like, how's it going fast? If the wind is what's pushing it, how's it going faster than the wind?
Well, I suppose, for starters, it'd have to be, like, a super light sort of vessel. I don't know those racing ones if they're using, like, carbon fibre or whatever, but it would have to be so aerodynamic.
Yeah.
But I suppose once it just gets a bit of a wiggle on it, it just hoofs. I mean, that's all I can give you.
My
And
favourite thing
obviously
is-
you would have to have the sail at, like, the perfect sort of... It'd have to be, like, perpendicular. It'd have to be catching the wind perfectly. And I'd imagine there's a fair bit of skill involved in that.
Yeah. My favourite thing is Liam trying to explain things that he knows he can't quite explain.
I'm doing my best here, Scooter. I'm doing my best. But maybe that's a question for real Google. I don't know. If you didn't know, we did IQ tests earlier in the week. Ben and I have P-brains, IQs of 122 equally. And the biggest brain in the team, who knew? Producer Belle.
Who knew? I knew. I could have called it.
Big head, real big brain.
Old fat brain Belle.
Fat brain Belle is what she's been called all week.
How did this become me being fat?
It's nothing to do with your weight at all, Belle.
I'm taking it as you've just called me fat.
No.
There's a difference between a fat brain and calling someone fat.
Yeah.
Fat is what you guys call me all the time.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we thought because Belle is so smart, we could do our own version of the chaser.
I'm very excited for this. So there'll be a challenger. They get 60 seconds to answer as many questions as they can. And then Fat Brain Belle goes. She's got 45 seconds to try and beat the challenger's score. If you don't know an answer, you say pass and we move on. They are the rules, as simple as that.
Let's move to your challenger. It's Sarah, the accountant. How you doing, Sarah?
How are you guys?
Very good, thank you. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling the pressure.
Out of interest, do you know your IQ?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, look, I mean, 134 is a very good score, so, I mean, all of us wish we could have a score that high.
All right, look, Sarah, I got 60 seconds on the clock. Are you ready to go?
Yep,
All right, here we
let's
go.
do it.
Okay, Sarah, complete the title of the Alan Rickman film Truly Madly What?
Deeply.
Correct. In the game Monopoly, what land vehicle is a playing token?
Car.
Correct. In the US, Bazooka Joe is the mascot of what kind of confectionery?
Chocolate.
Bubblegum. Benedict Cumberbatch won a 2014 Emmy for his role in what series?
Pass.
Sherlock. Who was the last monarch before the Queen to celebrate a Diamond Jubilee?
Pass.
Victoria. In the US, what would you do with a Slurpee?
Sniff it.
Correct. The Frankensteiner is a move in what sport?
Rugby.
Wrestling. How many minutes does it take for the International Space Station to orbit the Earth?
Oh, God. Pass.
90 minutes. What novel?
Oh, they're tough questions.
That was
to be
good,
fair.
though.
You got 3.
You got 3?
And it's a tough one. They're hard questions. They're
not easy.
It's supposed to be a hard quiz.
So, but really, there's less time on the clock. But can a score of 3 beat the chaser? I mean, we know it's the biggest brand on the team. So this is the best.
Yeah.
This is the best we got.
This is all we got.
This is all we got.
All right, Sarah, thank you very much. You hang there. It is now producer Belle's turn.
I think I'll be all right.
All right.
Okay.
Well, you've got
All
less
right.
time, remember. That's how it works.
Yeah, so Belle has only got 45 seconds. She's chasing 3, so she needs 4 answers right.
Okay, here
to
we go.
beat Sarah.
Okay. What novel by J.D. Salinger was first published in 1951?
Pass.
Catcher in the Rye. In Roald Dahl's Matilda, what relation is Miss Trunchbull to Miss Honey?
Sister.
Aunt. Water that has frozen and become solid is called what?
Nice.
Correct. Who was the top scorer for Wales at Euro 2016?
Pass.
Gareth Bale. Who was Australia's first female Prime Minister?
Oh, Julie Gillard.
Correct. John Travolta is a famous follower of what religious movement?
Oh, God, pass.
Scientology. In Disney's The Lion King, who is Simba's uncle?
Scar.
Correct.
She's got 3. She needs one more.
Yeah, keep going.
What is 3/5 of 40?
3/5 of 40 is... Oh, God, I can't do maths and I'm stressed.
Oh, it's a dead heat.
It's a dead heat.
Which means no one wins on our version of the chaser.
We split the money?
It is a dead heat. The money will not be split, unfortunately. But Sarah, thanks for playing.
Thank you.
No worries. You did pretty well to get 3.
Yeah, and you know what, Sarah? You're still in the draw to win $50,000.
What was the answer to that last question?
24.
24.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
maybe if your
24.
IQ
Damn it.
was a little higher, you might have got it.
I can't do maths.
You're on Nova.
That's the end of the Recap All Around Australia podcast. Quite often we keep it pretty short, sharp and shiny on the end of these ones, but last week let the boat out a little bit.
Did we?
Yeah, do you remember? I think it was talking about strip clubs or something, maybe. No, it was Amsterdam. Red Light District.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we were talking about strip clubs off air.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. I don't want to yuck anyone's yum, but it's not really my thing.
Peep shows.
That's right. We're talking about peep shows.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
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 In
well,
Amsterdam.
Yeah, I'm not doing them here. Like over there.
Well, I'm sure you could find one.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure there's. Yeah. Well, maybe there's a market for it. Maybe we could start one.
Yeah, the Ben and Liam Peep Show. But we're not obviously nude. But you're it's just us doing radio.
Oh, yeah. Different segments.
Yeah, and then as the night goes on, we start doing weirder stuff.
Yeah, that could catch on.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't think we need to do another 5 minutes on peep. if you're into that,
it feels like it's going that way.
It does feel like it's going that way, and I am pulling up the handbrake now and stopping it. If you want to hear that sort of smut, you can listen to the end of this podcast from last week.
Bye.
Ben and Liam is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.